To get to the top, you must prove your worth.
Stacia attacking, final seconds, and knocks her out.
It takes grit,
Another shot here.
determination, and dedication. Tonight, a perfect season is on the line. The Philadelphia Smoke continue to make their mark in the history books, going for a perfect season. Led by 6 fighters with 10 or more wins, it appears that nothing can stand in their way. However, holding their ground stands AC Bryant's San Antonio Snipers. Led by a rookie who stands tall in the ring and a returning cast that desires a championship. The Team Boxing League semifinals begin. Who will knock out the competition? Find out next.
We welcome you to Fight Night in the Valley of the Sun. Team Boxing League's postseason continues, and tonight it is the first of 2 semifinal matchups taking place this weekend, with a trip to Mega Brawl 4 on the line as the Philadelphia Smoke and the San Antonio Snipers do battle in a neutral site, Wichita Casino Resort in Phoenix, Arizona. As we take you through the TBL postseason bracket, Philly and San Antonio on the left side of your screen. Tomorrow it'll be Miami and Las Vegas, and the winners of each matchup will meet in Mega Brawl 4 coming up Sunday, August the 30th. Hi again, everybody. Welcome inside our TBL studios alongside the Hall of Famer Dave Bontempo. I'm Justin Shackle. I tell you what, the MO for the Philadelphia Smoke this season has been consistency. They're the top seed. They're now 9-0 after easing into the semifinals with a win over New York City. As far as San Antonio goes, they have some of the best collection of raw talent that we've seen from a boxing standpoint this year. The question is, can they find their own consistency when it's going to matter most?
Well, they've had some great breakout seasons from a lot of fighters on this team, and it's enabled them to get a playoff victory. And when you look at this lineup, you say, who are the big people they're going to rely on? One of the big factors has been Obed Bartiel. Maybe you should call him Barty W, because he's 8-0 this year, and he's had some great killer instinct performances for the San Antonio team. He's been a great source of power. He might be an unexpected development for them. And Azaria Cottrell, she's a phenom, a rookie no more. And Adrian Taylor had a big move down from the heavyweight division and has helped this team out. And Jury Rodriguez has been at the top of the show for a couple of years for San Antonio. That's a team that is blossoming. They are going against a team that has arrived. And that is one reason why Stacia Suttles, Lizana Contreras, Jesse Hardwork Hart, the heart and soul of this Philadelphia team, and their spokesman. And they have had great moments from Shaquille Ellis, from Contreras. They have depth up and down. And when you look at this team, bing, knockdowns, she has been terrific. And Stacia Suttles, probably the biggest offseason acquisition in the history of the league. She was with New York last year and won a championship. She goes to Philly, and Philly is favored to win one, too.
Well, she's going to be a 2-round fighter for Philadelphia here tonight with a trip to Mega Brawl 4 on the line. As we take a look at rounds to watch in the launch rounds, round number 1, front and center, 2 table setters at 118 pounds who are a combined lifetime 29-2 in Team Boxing League. Jury Rodriguez for the Snipers and Lysandra Contreras, a Rookie of the Year candidate for Philly.
Yeah, that's why we cannot wait for this one, as Rodriguez has 18 in a row. You got 28 wins in a row between them, and they are table setters. So both teams are looking at this saying, hey, if we win one, we beat one of their best. So there's a lot on the line in the first fight.
Yeah, it's going to be a rare scene when one leaves without their hand getting raised. All right, let's go to Wichita Casino and Resort. Third member of our broadcast crew, it is Gina Lucille joining us here for the semifinals. Gina, great to see you. And I know with so much at stake, both coaches who are arguably 2 of the most eccentric coaches in Team Boxing League here, they took some time to really dive into their philosophies with a lot on the line.
Hey guys, how are you? Everyone is so excited to be here in Phoenix, Arizona for the semifinals. Now, this is Team Boxing League, so it is all about a team. Now, the coaches today, AC Bryant and Bobby Kane, both really touched down heavily on the importance on how to make it this far and go to Mega Brawl. Let's hear what they had to say.
This is not the me boxing league. This is the team boxing league. And if you're not doing it together as a team, you're not going to be successful in this league. It means everything to when we have someone. Not everybody who scores points wins. Sometimes somebody coming in here and only doing their job and giving up the bare minimum allows us to win, i.e. our final match of the season, playoff against Phoenix. We didn't need Sean to win. We needed Sean for help the team to win, and he did everything to make sure our team wins.
Traditional boxing, one-round boxing, I mean, we bring the fighters in for their style and how they compete, and they got to be versatile. They can stay on the inside, they can box on the outside. It's them, really. It's not, we don't have no one-dimensional fighters, so that's why we're consistent.
As you hear from both coaches from these teams that are fighting tonight, it's not just about every individual fighter and how they fight tonight. It's about how everybody performs in this ring. Back to you guys.
And we will see which team comes out on top here. We saw Philadelphia beat San Antonio a little bit earlier in this season, 19-8. Can San Antonio close the gap with a trip to the championship on the line? We're going to take our first break. When we come back, we'll meet the fighters from both squads. We'll get the launch rounds going from Phoenix. The TBL semifinals continue next. Team Boxing League is brought to you by Balance of Nature. In boxing, consistency beats intensity. Balance of Nature supplements, they help you stay consistent with ingredients of whole foods you can easily slot into your daily routine. Go to balanceofnature.com, use code TEAM, and start today. Valley of the Sun, Phoenix, Arizona, the site of our two semifinal matchups this weekend. The TBL bell is on hand for both of them. Good to see Alyssa and Zari as we get set for the semifinal matchup between Philadelphia and San Antonio. Without further ado, we go into the ring with Ray Flores.
Welcome to the next chapter of high-impact, non-stop action. This is Team Boxing League, where every round is the last round, and every fighter leaves it all inside the ring. Each moment of TBL season airs live on MSG Networks, Envoy TV, with Spanish language coverage available on Estrella TV. Welcome to the Winklepaw Casino Resort here in Fort McDowell, Arizona. For tonight's TBL Season 4 semifinal showdown between the San Antonio Snipers and the undefeated Philadelphia Smoke. We would like to extend our sincere appreciation to Steve Newport and the Yakima Nation Athletic Commission, Wicopa Casino Resort General Manager Harold Backus for helping to make tonight's event possible, along with our fine sponsors, Climax Moonshine, Fire Number 32, Balance of Nature, Serenity Springs Recovery Center, and HotelPlanner.com. Now, when the action begins, your referees in charge of the action all evening long will be Ryan Brugman and Joel Scobie. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the San Antonio Snipers.
The TBL's number 4 seed San Antonio Snipers coming in at 5-3-1 off a quarterfinal victory over the Phoenix Fury. 15-13 came down to the final rounds in the money rounds, and San Antonio found a way to put it together.
Battle tested in those close ones, and their final regular season matchup was like that too. So if it's close, this is a team that has found a way to win, and they've made gigantic strides from last year, as you see Cottrell and company.
Leading the San Antonio Snipers, head coach, retired U.S. Army Master Sergeant with 3 tours of duty in combat, A.C. Bryant. Here is the starting lineup for San Antonio. Former Team USA member and 2025 TBL Female Rookie of the Year, Bantamweight Jewelry, the Empress Rodriguez. Featherweight James Pierce, 12-time national champion. Featherweight Azariah Cottrell. Lightweight Sebastian Vasquez. Welterweight Andres Bonita. Super welterweight Jarvis Shepard. Middleweight Tracy Magruder. Heavyweight Nagy Aguilera. Featherweight Chastity Roberts. Lightweight Frenzy Fortunato Asaya. Former WBC World Super Lightweight Champion, Super Lightweight Erica Farias. Current NABF Junior Welterweight Champion, Welterweight Charles Gardner. Super Middleweight Obed Bartiel. Light Heavyweight Daron Isom. Cruiserweight Adrian Taylor. And Heavyweight Travaris the Bear Fiend. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undefeated Philly Smoke.
This is a team that beats you every launch, middle, and money round by just a couple of points. You always figure you're hanging in there. But right now, they're 19-1-7 in those stanzas, having lost to New York the first night, and then that's it.
Yeah, they inch by you round by round, maybe by 2, maybe by 3 points. At the end of the night, you look up, and it's a 9-point difference.
How did we do that? We were there the whole night, and that's the consistency of this team. We see the highlight packages of the fighters, and then there are fighters who don't even make that package that are very good, and this is a solid bunch.
Got past New York City.
At the helm of the Philly Smoke, renowned trainer Bob Kane. Here is the starting lineup for Philly. Silver medalist at the National Championships, bantamweight Lissandra Contreras. The first to 40 wins in TBO history, featherweight Rashid Sugar Sheen Brown. Multi-time national champion and 2020 U.S. Olympian featherweight Shaquilla Ellis. Lightweight Francisco Cisco Kid Rodriguez. Welterweight Isaiah Kiladu Johnson. multi-time national champion and U.S. Olympic trialist, super welterweight Jason the Don Moreno. Middleweight Steve Tugboat Cunningham Jr. New York Golden Gloves champion heavyweight Concha Dumpling Nathan. Three-time Pennsylvania State champion, Honduran national team member, featherweight Maria Antunes. Former WBC Silver USA Super Lightweight champion, lightweight Nahir Wu Albright. Multi-time national champion, Team USA member, and Olympic trialist, super lightweight Stasia the Natural Sotos. Welterweight Hendry Bazooka Cedeno. Super middleweight Zahir the Punisher Jefferson. Former USBA, NABO, and NABF champion, light heavyweight Jesse Hardwork Hartz. Multi-time USA national champion and former Team USA member, cruiserweight, the Great Money Poe. And two-time national Golden Gloves champion, heavyweight Eric Too Easy Ross. That is the undefeated Billy Smoke. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you all please rise, if you're able to, as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem, being performed tonight by renowned vocalist Annalise Mendoza.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Annalise Mendoza with the singing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to begin the semifinals, the launch rounds between San Antonio and Philly. Round one at bantamweight, San Antonio, Juri Rodriguez. Philly, Lisandro Contreras.
Right out of the gate, a round to watch in the launch rounds. Two bantamweights and two impressive 118-pounders at that. Lisandro Contreras on your screen, a sensational rookie campaign in 2026 for the Philadelphia Smoke, going up against Juri Rodriguez, who's completed her second season in TBL, a career 20-1 TBL fighter. Contreras, meanwhile, 10-1 in her inaugural season, and a TBL Rookie of the Year finalist.
You better believe it with these type of credentials, 28 in a row between them. And Contreras in her last had a southpaw opponent to deal with. And this has been a more natural style for her to face. So we'll see if she comes out with a little bit more aggression there. And then you take a look at the All-Star team. Look, we've got them both in there, 1 and 2.
And Contreras aggressive, moving forward out of the gate. Rodriguez using angles to get herself out of dodge.
For Contreras against the righty here, she can be in a traditional jabbing style and not worry about a right hook coming out and making the adjustments against the lefty as she sees the attempt to try and cut off the ring and cut in and try to muscle Julie Rodriguez here.
We'll see what type of adjustments Contreras can make in about 2 minutes or so, because if she continues to come forward in that style, Rodriguez has the ability to fluidly fight off the heels.
And then it will be a counter-punching scenario just like that for Rodriguez.
And another one, but Contreras stings her with a right hand. And this is exactly what we were expecting, Dave.
Yeah, I like what I brought, and you like what you brought, because they're both opening up. This is a stylistic pleasure, and they're both landing their best shots. The left hooks from Rodriguez and that punishing right hand from Contreras.
These are two women, event by event, consistently put early points on the board for their team. Only one's going to be able to do it tonight as we start this semifinal matchup.
And one thing that's a little different about this one, you're seeing two people loading up for power shots, and there was a good one from Contreras.
Good connects from Contreras, both with the right and left hands.
And right after that, interestingly, she goes southpaw after she lands the big right hand, and she pays the price for going to that style.
Counter right hook and another right hand. That right hand from Contreras finding a landing spot at different points here in this first round. I would tend to argue, Dave, maybe we don't have to argue, that right hand from Contreras has been the most effective punch between these two fighters.
It's been her money punch, and that's why I was a little surprised to see her going southpaw after she landed a big one, then she walked into one. But she has strong physical confirmation. There's the big right hand again, and then she goes southpaw. That time she did connect with the right hook afterward.
Making the southpaw switch mid-round, helping Lysandra Contreras here as the seconds wind down to the first.
And the good part about doing this way, the second time she did it was she was further out, so she couldn't be caught with the counter.
And as of right now, these two women, despite highly decorative seasons, they're only scheduled to fight one round, so you make that adjustment right here. If she comes away with this victory, she kind of stole points right out of the pocket of Julie Rodriguez.
Yeah, and what's really terrific about this matchup, as a couple shots get in, then the right hand by Contreras, that was a big one right there. That's the bellwether punch of the round. You know, we see a lot of stylistic opportunities when the women get us started, and it's very good boxing. This is the first time I think we've seen two fighters load up right from the start and land their best shots.
We'll get the decision here in a moment. But the way Contreras adjusted mid-round, that's the type of chess that Philadelphia has played up and down its roster this season.
So stylish, that team. And I like the fact that she adjusted the way she went to southpaw. The first time she got nailed. The second time she threw it from further out and scored herself.
TBL fans, the winner of round one by way of unanimous decision from the Philly Smoke, Lysandra Contreras. Our next round is brought to you by Climax Moonshine Fire number 32, known to bring the heat. Round two at lightweight. Middleweight for San Antonio, James Pierce. LA, Rasheen Brown.
And I'm going back to that win for Lysandra Contreras, Dave. Again, makes the adjustment mid-round. This is it. They're not scheduled to fight again. Julie Rodriguez doesn't have to pocket any information, take it with her into another round. The points are gone for her.
Points are gone for her. But, you know, Contreras also was able to muscle her. That was another big factor for her, that she had the physical strength to take those chances. So, but that was a rousing and a great opening fight. I mean, what you would expect in a playoff match, two playoff fighters. And here you've got James Pierce on his trajectory, trying to grow. He got a crucial victory for San Antonio in its regular season finale to clinch its playoff spot. And now he has to go against the guy who's beaten him twice and beaten just about everybody in the league.
San Antonio winning over Dallas. Coming into the postseason, taking the quarterfinal victory over Phoenix by just 2 points. James Pierce facing Rasheem Brown, the first to 40 career wins in TBL history. He's got 12-3 this season. And he's won 7 of his last 9 rounds. Pure technician from Philadelphia.
Exemplifies that the sweet science mastery by the Philadelphia fighters up and down the roster, the technique, the boxing fundamentals, doesn't take unnecessary chances, keeps himself in punching position, very difficult to hit, and yet always throwing enough leather out there to put points on the board.
Southpaw versus Southpaw in the second round. James Pierce about 7 years older than Rasheem Brown, and yeah, competing for San Antonio, but he makes his home nearby in Avondale, Arizona.
And when you fight a Rasheem Brown, what you have to try and do is somehow get him out of his comfort zone. Take a shot, try to nail him, even if you get caught yourself, because he can shuffle, slide, and glide for hours. And this is a guy you've got 3 minutes to try and get him out of his rhythm.
You have to get him out of his rhythm, but you also have to, you're up against the clock because you see him, and by him, Rasheem Brown, get stronger as the round progresses. Yeah. Time and time out.
You have to take your chance, and once he settles in, now you see him start to sit down on his punches a little bit more. And Pierce is trying to come in, and there he had to walk in, and he paid the price for it. He had the right idea, but just couldn't get there fast enough.
When you watch Rasheem Brown, it's the same blank demeanor. Round after round after round. Never fights with his mouth open. You can't tell if he's gassed. Takes a 3-punch combo upstairs to James Pierce.
I think he's earned a second nickname, the Professor. He really is so many different ways that he can fight you. And here he did not need to move as much. He did not move as much laterally as we've seen in some other fights. We saw him go straight on and take the angle of going straight in. And Pierce, you know, he was game with him.
Well, this is the first of 2 rounds between Brown and Pierce tonight. They'll do it again in round 19 later on in the money round stage.
Pierce was scrappy. He had to pay the price to get in. And we've seen Brown more dominant in other fights, but he also looked really good.
TBL fans, the winner of round 2 by way of unanimous decision. From the Philly Smoke, Rasheem Brown. Round 3 at featherweight, San Antonio, Azaria Cottrell. Philly, Shaquilla Ellis.
All right, third round underway. Philadelphia already up 2-0, and this is an interesting one, Dave. Shaquilla Ellis and Azaria Cottrell. Cottrell is the only fighter to have had her hand raised against Ellis.
Yeah, and she did that, earned it both times, using her height, her reach, and a sneaky power aspect with her right hand. So Ellis could not just come in. Cottrell has been a real phenom in this league, and we mentioned once that A.C. Bryant had found out about her when she was 7 years old in Hawaii. His son trained where she was learning to box in Hawaii. They maintained their friendship as the careers took different directions, and when she became eligible age-wise, she became a member of the Smoke, and she's one of the best fighters in the league now. But for Ellis, you've got the revenge motif. She's never faced somebody who beat her.
Yep. She had to sit on 2 defeats to Cottrell when Philadelphia and San Antonio met in early July. Philly won the overall score, obviously 19-8, but Cottrell got the best of her. This 18-year-old out of Aliyah, Hawaii, now living in Las Vegas.
And we're seeing Ellis pursue more, try to load up a little bit more. In their first couple fights, Cottrell did enough with those right hands and some left hooks to keep Ellis from just waltzing in the way she has been doing. And you can see Cottrell is loading up that right hand, looking for a place to put it right over the top, and Ellis knows that, so she gets in and out.
This is fun if you are a boxing purist, because you're seeing the best form of Ellis right now. I mean, when you watch her against other competition, it is not this measured. It is not this careful. And she's forced to do everything this way because of the opponent in front of her as she lands with that right hand.
Double jab and then get out. Be cautious. Be very conscious of the clock. And try to land, and there's a reason why. As Cottrell just reminded her with a good left hook that gets in. And she's got the range, height, reach, and sneaky power. So Cottrell is not an easy fighter to break down. But Ellis is trying to do it in a way that makes sense.
30 seconds remain in the third round. San Antonio trying to get on the board. Ellis hoping to provide Philadelphia with a third straight round to open up the night as they both trade punches in the closing seconds.
In other fights, we've seen Shaquille Ellis double jab her way in, and then she's right into the strike zone. She double jabs here, and she's in the path of a Cottrell right hand. So she has done a lot of adjustment to take that into account, and this has been a great chess match. And it was an honorable mention for a round to watch because it's just that good.
A very tight, evenly matched round between Shaquille Ellis and Azariah Cottrell. As we take a look at the action from the third.
Here's how they went at it as the right hand got in by Ellis and Cottrell scored with hers. Now, Ellis was forcing the issue more in this fight, more than in the other previous fights. And let's see if that is what gives it to her.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of round 3 by way of unanimous decision from the Philly Smoke, Shaquille Ellis.
No, Ellis has a message for
Tonight's fights are
the San Antonio corral.
Nature. Our fighters fuel with clean carbs and real ingredients, and now you can too.
That's a great adjustment by her.
The snacks and get 35% off right now with code TEAM at balanceandnature.com. Round 4 at lightweight. San Antonio, Sebastian Vasquez. Philly, Francisco Rodriguez.
Smoker up 3-0. And they have already gotten through 2-point scores for San Antonio that have been there all season.
Yeah, they've beaten the best that San Antonio put out there. And Philly has been an excellent team at the top. We've seen them go up 3-0 in a lot of fights. And here's a guy that a nice fixture down in Atlantic City, working in the casino industry there, has been a headliner and overcame a shoulder injury that had been bothering him last year, early this year, and has found better form lately.
And Francisco Rodriguez, Sebastian Vasquez for San Antonio. Quick reminder of the TBL scoring format: 24 one-round fights. All the points scored add up for your team. If you win by way of a decision, like we've seen the first 3 rounds, it's 1 point for your team. If you score a knockdown, it's 2 points. 2 or more knockdowns in a round is 3 points, and it's 4 points via KO, TKO, disqualification, or forfeit. Which team can come away with some extra points, multiple points within a round? It would be such a huge lift.
One of the stunning aspects of the Philadelphia team is that one of the recent wins, there were no stops, and they still won decisively, just putting rounds together. They're a team, Philly, if they get Rodriguez going, if they get Cedeno going, Moreno, Nahir Albright, all of this talent, lurking on the outside much of the season and now blossoming at the right time, they'll be formidable.
Rodriguez trying to make something happen at close range. Again, he's in the purple trunks for Philadelphia. Vasquez holding on to that right hand of Francisco Rodriguez. Good step in from the referee, Ryan Bruggeman. Vasquez trying to bounce back from a loss to Phoenix's Judah Yisrael in the quarterfinals. Francisco Rodriguez, he was idle for Philadelphia in their quarterfinal matchup with New York City.
That last combination by Rodriguez, the jab and the right hand, something that they'd be very happy to see that in Philadelphia. Pretty good illustration of how he's been progressing.
The right hand from Rodriguez. 10 seconds remain. And another right hand from Rodriguez. Trying to close strong, leave an impression on the judges. Round 4 concludes.
Well, that's the best hand speed we've seen from the Cisco kid as he continues to move along that way. We'll see if it is enough for him. There's the left hand. Look at that hook, and he's out. And then he was able to put a hook and a right hand together there. There were the two-punch combinations we saw a lot of last year, not as much this year, but he's been finding himself.
TBL fans, the winner of round 4 by way of unanimous decision. From the Philly Smoke, Francisco Rodriguez.
Rodriguez comes away with the victory, and Philadelphia has jumped out to a 4-0 lead to open up this semifinal matchup. Final 4 rounds of the launch round phase coming up right after this. Philadelphia has a 4-0 lead to start tonight's semifinal matchup. Let's get to round 5.
Round 5 at welterweight. San Antonio, Andres Barrera. Philly, Isaiah Johnson.
Johnson right there in the purple trunks, going up against Andres Barrera. A couple of welterweights going at it with San Antonio needing some points. One last stretch for Barrera. Ready to roll.
Everything has to be lined up.
Joel Scobie, third man in the ring, and off we go with round number 5. These two welterweights coming up in a few rounds. Middleweight action. Tracy Magruder going up against Steve Cunningham Jr. for Philadelphia. He's standing by with Gina.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Good job.
We're here with Steve Cunningham Jr. Steve, what is so important about these launch rounds and your game plan coming into these launch rounds?
The launch rounds are very important for us because we put our best foot forward and we try to get as much of a lead as we can in these launch rounds. We got our best fighters in the launch rounds going crazy, so it's very crucial.
Now, earlier backstage, you were talking about how important it is to be a counter striker, but I'll tell you what, leading in these launch rounds, you guys are pressure fighting right now for the Philly Smokes.
It's seeming like everyone's just fighting like it's the last fight. Everyone's doing their best right now. It's crazy. All unanimous decisions. We're going off right now.
Now, coming into the launch Johnson, you're also fighting at the end of the night. So what's it like fighting earlier and then fighting at the end, putting that cherry on top?
It's actually pretty dope. I fighting first, I get to feel the guy out, I get to see what's going on, and then that second round, it's like I have everything downloaded into my brain. Everything's done for, you know. I love it. I like that.
Now, what is something that Bobby Kane is talking to you about backstage, getting you ready?
He's just saying stay loose, you know, stay loose and box, you know, stay loose, box, and don't force anything, you know. That's how bad things happen when you force stuff.
All right, get to it. We'll see you later.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Steve Cunningham Jr. coming up in round number 7. He had a couple of pivotal victories in Philadelphia's quarterfinals win over New York City, a quality combination put together there by Isaiah Johnson. But something that Steve spoke to, Dave, right there, he talked about how every fighter right now is coming out, you know, as if there obviously is no tomorrow, but clearly they're working with momentum. There's urgency, but they are also really well coached.
Yes, they are. The fundamentals of this team collectively is exquisite. See all these Philly fighters get off first with the jab. I mean, if you look back over these first few rounds, they've probably gotten off first 80 to 85% of the time so far, and yet maintain their balance, maintain their posture. Another thing he said during the interview about the team spirit, which is contagious. When your team starts to win, everybody starts to go off, and you can feel that collective wave in the Philly corral.
You don't want to be the only one left out of the party. Another left hand delivered straight into the face of Barrera from Isaiah Johnson. Barrera trying to jab his way inside against the southpaw Isaiah Johnson, who's gone 10-2 this season. Swept Oscar Trujillo in 2 rounds in the quarterfinals.
At one point, he won 9 in a row, lost 1, then won 10 in a row after that. So he's been one of the unsung heroes, and he's got 19-2.
Very nice combo near the end. And Johnson's one of the best fighters that not a lot of people talk about when you examine this Philly roster.
And I think that's the second level of star fighters. He's in there with the Jason Morenos and the Nahir Albrights and so many talented fighters. Here he is maintaining his good position on the floor. Jab first, then the left hand. And look at the balance. He's ready to go the next time, but not even close to being countered. And that's a mastery of the fundamentals.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of round 5 by way of unanimous decision, from Philly, Isaiah Johnson. Round 6 is brought to you by Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and self-discovery. At super welterweight, San Antonio, Jarvis Shepard. Philly, Jason Moreno.
Moreno and Shepard locking horns in the 6th round. They'll do it again in the 18th round. You see Moreno in the purple trunks, Jarvis Shepard in the silver trunks for San Antonio, who's now down 5-0 in this semifinal matchup.
And he'd been out for a while and made a return and was victorious for the San Antonio team. So he is one of the fighters that they have pinned their hopes on. But he's also going up against a very hot fighter in Jason Moreno, one of the original blue collar corner award winners. He just really got it going over the last few months.
25 years of age. He's competed around the T Boxing League, but does make his home in Philadelphia.
He'll be trying for the right-hand lead. Will Moreno try to get there ahead of Shepard? I'd see him try to take a shuffle step to his right to get ahead of where Shepard is and stay away from power hand. Even when you're not scoring, if you're doing this kind of movement, you're being effective to the judges if the fight ends up even otherwise.
It was a close call as far as headbutt goes moments ago. 2 southpaws competing in the 6th round.
Look at this Philly team again. You get off first, and you get back.
Moreno and Orthodox.
They may be the best team in the league at taking what is given to them and no more. This is the jab, take that, get out. Two-punch combination, get that in and get out. Don't try to parlay it into something else if it's not there. And these are split-second decisions that are being made, and they're being made effective.
And in turn, you could also say, hey, that's the team pound for pound with the best footwork collective.
Yes, yeah, we see it with Rasheed Brown. We see all this team. Look at the balance on everybody. They are like they studied the same fundamentals video. And this is a collective thing, close team.
Moreno comes through. Shepard answers with a counter. And that's one of the few times we're not seeing some wild throws from Jarvis Shepard. His launch is consistently a little bit too wide.
Yeah, now he's trying to make up for ground. And there was a right hand from a distance from Moreno, who knew that he had little to lose with that situation. And one word to describe Philly over this first set of rounds: composure. And here's an example of it. Penetrating through, the jab blocks the hand coming at him, and then the right hand gets through. Using both weapons at the same time, along with terrific balance, Moreno gets the best of that exchange.
TBL fans, the winner of round 6 by way of a split decision. From the Philly Smoke, Jason Moreno. Round 7 at middleweight, San Antonio, Tracy Magruder. Philly, Steve Cunningham Jr.
Well, with 2 rounds remaining in the launch rounds, Philadelphia's working on a launch shutout. 7th round, Steve Cunningham Jr., Tracy Magruder. We heard Cunningham Jr. moments ago with Gina Lucille, and again, Cunningham coming up big with 2 wins over Justin Figueroa in the quarterfinals a couple of weeks ago, earning the 2nd star of the night honors. And he was just trying to take the baton and run with it for this Smoke squad.
And facing Magruder, who is on a 6-1 tear and has been one of the consistent hopes for San Antonio. So San Antonio is looking for places where, hey, we think we may get some points. This was one place they were pointing at.
That left hand maybe catching some of the glove of Magruder. Cunningham tripping. Trying to do his best Spider-Man impression. Rope got in between. The rope ran into him, Dave.
Hey, you know, I think you have to take a point away from the rope.
Jr. remaining active with the fists. Magruder a more measured approach right now as we approach the midway point of the 7th round. And Philadelphia trying to increase the team score. They're already up 6-0 as Magruder lands a left hand to the body.
He's pressuring now, trying to get in the right hand lead. Important when you avoid the counter from Magruder not to go straight back. If you go straight back, you can walk into the path of something. He's trying to press the issue. More than we've seen any San Antonio fighter been able to do thus far.
Magruder getting that left hand through. Maybe not an impactful, effective land, but a land nevertheless. 30 seconds to go in the 7th. Wondering second half of this round, is Steve Cunningham Jr. doing enough to show the judges that he's busy?
Magruder has done a nice job cutting off the ring and making Cunningham think before he launches into his next attack. So if Cunningham, if Magruder wins, you'll have to give him credit for the smothering effect of what he did to Cunningham Jr. in the second half.
Cunningham giving a different feel for the fence jab right there with his other hand behind his back.
Yeah, he couldn't get as close to Magruder as he would have liked. As Magruder pressured, and that was the good theatrics display. And then the ropes, actually the ropes got in the way twice. So, and the smile on Cunningham as he got up.
I don't think Zendaya would approve that Spider-Man impression.
And here was Cunningham trying to do his best work with the hook.
TBL fans, the winner of round 7 by way of unanimous decision. From Philly, Steve Cunningham Jr.
The look on Magruder's face is priceless. For San Antonio, what else is going to go wrong?
At heavyweight, San Antonio, Nagy Aguilera. Philly, Concha Nathan.
Well, Concha Nathan, as you see Nagy Aguilera step into the ring, Nathan right there has a chance for a launch round sweep for his Philadelphia Smoke. They're up 7-0. And Nathan beginning round number 8 against Aguilera. The 39-year-old 6'3" heavyweight for San Antonio.
Remember that Philly is doing this to a team that has 5 wins and is, other than Miami, the most improved team on the circuit this entire season. Aguilera, 2 interesting wins over Steven Garola, who came out of the dirty boxing circuit, where all these things on the inside that you can do there you can't do here, with the elbows and the holding and the hitting and everything like that. So that fight was a close quarter, and he managed to get that win.
Meanwhile, Nathan lost to Dusan Vlahovic of New York City in Philly's quarterfinal matchup. And that left hand knocking Aguilera back. The rope saving him. And look at Concha Nathan pressing the action.
A little bit more power on that left hand, perhaps, than what it looked. And Aguilera.
The boat's rocking here, Dave.
Yeah.
Well, the ropes certainly loosened when Aguilera went back on those ropes. I tell you what, in real time, I was about to ask you, hey, is that a knockdown? It looked like the rope saved Aguilera. It turns out Aguilera may have loosened these ropes here.
Falling back here now, because of the intervention here, that was a potential knockdown punch coming that did not. And that was a stumble and very close. Yeah, now if the ropes are normal and they hold you up, that's a knockdown.
Right.
You can make the decision that these are not normal ropes.
Right. If he went into the ropes with that same force and the ropes were tighter, you wonder if that would have been a knockdown. But obviously the ropes loosened up here.
He'll get the benefit of the slack. Meantime, he has stumbled back with some of the jabs by Nathan. And early on, it looked like Aguilera stumbled over himself. So he hasn't been comfortable in here. And well,
the fighters are going to leave the ring.
Going to wait, work on it. Better to find out now than when the biggest guys in the building pour through it. I've had that happen at ringside. Somebody tumbles in and
this happens.
Inches from your face.
Yeah,
yes,
this happens, and the crew's on standby, and we're going to come with the tools and tighten the ropes. But both fighters leaving with time still on the clock here for round number 8 in this launch round phase.
Both fighters and other fighters may go up there and say, I want to inspect that myself when it's finished.
Smart move for Aguilera. Smart move for Aguilera. Draping the flag over him, trying to stay hot, right?
Yes.
Trying to stay heated.
Yeah.
You don't want to cool off.
Yeah, you don't want to come out like essentially bone dry when you're back out there again. And when he does go back in, he's got a big hill to overcome, because this has been an excellent round for Conjunathan. And how else? With the jab and getting off first, which has been the mantra of this Philadelphia team.
Well, it was the jab of Conjunathan that, effectively loosened those ropes. It kept pushing Aguilera back, went into the ropes. Here we are as we get a repair. All right, we're going to step aside as they tend to the ring in Phoenix in the middle of round number 8 between Nathan and Aguilera. We'll be back in a moment. A reminder, cast your vote for this season's Team Boxing League Award winners. Scan the QR code right on your screen and vote now. Winners will be declared at the TBL All-Star Competition on September 5th. And there you see some of the categories, including Most Improved Fighter, Most Valuable Fighter, Rookie of the Year. We've seen some fighters under these categories, some candidates in action here tonight so far in the launch rounds, in which Philadelphia has really run the gamut over San Antonio. As we welcome you back inside our studios, Justin and Dave with you. They're tending to the ring in Phoenix. We're in the middle of round number 8, but the talent for Philadelphia, it does not lie, and it's proven its worth early on here tonight in the semifinal matchup.
Yeah, this is the most impressive, Justin, that I have seen the boxing of this team and the fundamental discipline. We've always been impressed by a lot of these things that they've shown throughout the season, but collectively in a string like this, almost as if they're on cue with each other, this has been a strong thing. And don't forget, you haven't seen Jesse Hart yet. You haven't seen some of the best fighters that Philadelphia has traditionally at the end of the middle rounds where they've had their strength. So this is just a team that is blossoming and has expectations.
Yeah, still to come. Stacia Settles, Jesse Hart, that's coming up in the middle rounds. But the way they are precise, the way they pick apart their opponent bits in pieces. I continue to go back to that very first round, Lysandra Contreras and Julie Rodriguez. You have two highly decorated women at 118 pounds. Their one and only round of the night. I feel like that definitely played into the game plan for Bob Kane. Yesenia Montavo, who's Contreras' personal coach and the fighter herself. How do you pinpoint the game plan against a talented fighter like Julie Rodriguez? Make a mid-round adjustment, one that she's only going to see once, and if she doesn't capitalize, well, then, boom, you have a great chance of taking the round and the points for the night.
And she adjusted 3 times with that adjustment. The first time she did an adjustment to the southpaw style, she got nailed with a punch. The next time she came in a little bit further away, a different angle, and she was able to transition into an offensive structure. It also helped for her that she has a good muscular build and enough respect coming from that right hand that everything she had to do, you couldn't key on anything else. You had to respect the power. But the thinking behind all of that in the middle of the high speed was one thing. And then for the Philadelphia fighters, all the fundamental excellence they had. I made the point about 4 rounds in, at least 85% of the time it seemed they're getting off first. In, out, in, out first. Nobody pressuring them, taking away any of their comfort zone. That's just a mastery of this Philadelphia team. San Antonio is a good squad, and Philly is making this look easy.
Yeah, whenever a fighter can get into the rhythm of sticking and moving consistently, odds are always going to be in their favor. So this is our first of 2 semifinal matchups this weekend. Right now, Philadelphia in front 7-0. Second semifinal matchup coming up tomorrow, and I'm giggling with joy here because you have 2 Cuban-heavy squads going at it for a trip to the championship, a trip to Mega Brawl 4. Miami and Las Vegas, they will battle in the desert as well. And I just look at the Cuban presence for Miami. It's such a high level. Obviously, Las Vegas, you have some of those boxing gyms in Vegas, most notably the Salas gym. The Cuban style is going to reign supreme tomorrow.
It really is. And 2 teams that found out, hey, how do we get an edge in this league? Well, a lot of the coaches tell you a couple things. Well, one, you want to get the women because there's a big presence for that. Heavyweights are very important. And this might be element number 3, the Cuban Southpaw, because 2 teams got the great lot of it, and the 2 teams have been exceptional. Miami, along with San Antonio, most improved team in the league. They're bringing Luis Ortiz after all that. They've got a lot of great rising fighters. So does Vegas. So it will be on display. I'm really happy to see who's going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, King Conqueror Ortiz, he came out and burst out on the scene for Miami's second half of the season. He's going to be in the matchup with Kai Brooks in this semifinal matchup. So Miami and Vegas, they're going at it. Again, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific tomorrow, our other semifinal matchup as we continue to roll here with this ring development here in the launch rounds. In round number 8, Kanja Nathan, Nagy Aguilera, you saw what happened. Aguilera went back into the ropes, loosened them up a little bit. They're repairing them now, but Nathan has a chance to pitch a shutout for this Philadelphia team in the launch round phase.
And especially a launch round shutout in a playoff match. That's what they're doing here against a very good team. And here's when it's 7-0. The jab sums them back, and the rope does not pass the test. Referee gets right in there, and Nathan is coming in for more potential knockdown. And then if you're the guy right behind those ropes, you're saying, thank you for stopping this, because that could be 500 pounds laying on me.
Right there, it looked like a wave pool.
Yes, that was some danger if you're right behind there at ringside. And we've talked about it. I've had fighters come in and you say, thank God it was like a foot away. I mean, you never know. It's just so random like that, and that's part of it. Hey, you look at the NBA and the glass shatters on a backboard, and then they have a delay to get everything ready, and that's what they're doing here. And San Antonio may say, hey, I don't mind a little delay right now. We could try to regroup ourselves.
Well, when you look at what's happened in this launch round, Contreras set the table with the adjustment she made against Julia Rodriguez. You saw Shaquille Ellis exact revenge a little bit against Azariah Cottrell, and you take a look at the scorecard. Obviously, pretty evenly distributed there for the Philadelphia Smoke, but Ellis exacting revenge, and nice little showmanship from Ellis as well. We know AC Bryant's signature phrase with the machine gun: one shot, one kill. Yeah. She gave it back to the San Antonio Corral right there, but between the score and the mentality that Philadelphia has kind of set in here, there is a lot that San Antonio has to overcome after these initial 8 rounds.
I love the resolve of Ellis in that fight, the discipline for her style, knowing that she had to adjust over the previous time when Cottrell could pick her off from range with some powerful right hands and stop her in her tracks. So the veteran, who had never lost and then lost twice to the same fighter, comes back, and she thought about that a couple weeks. What adjustments do I have to make? She was more measured. She came in on different angles. She took advantage, and she won that totally with her intelligence.
All right, we're going to go back inside here. They just re-entered the ring. They just went underway. Ropes are tightened, and we'll see if Kanja Nathan can tighten up this 7-0 lead for Philadelphia as round 8 continues. 90 seconds to go.
So would this be a gift for Nagy Aguilera, a gift opportunity, or is Nathan now going to try and follow up on what he was doing so well? Now, we've never seen Nathan with as educated a jab as we've seen tonight, and then it led to those power shots. Nothing coming back at him.
I was about to say that to you, Dave. Aguilera is stuck in park here.
Yeah, he's watching Nathan come to him, and sometimes if you've been overpowered, you may be reluctant to launch a shot because of what you might get caught with. We've seen Aguilera in some some big moments, and he also can get caught and have a big moment for his opponent. And if you're Conja Nathan, this is just an invitation here to go for more.
Nathan launching in with that lead left and then coming back, pouring the drink out, turning the wrist beautifully with his right hand. May have snuck it just behind the guard of Aguilera on that left side of his face. Stabbed him to the body. By the looks of it, it is a clean shutout in the launch round phase for the top seed and undefeated Philadelphia Smoke. We await the judge's decision here.
Interestingly, they stayed off the ropes after the finish. I think we'll fight in the center of the ring. I'd be comfortable right there.
TBL fans, the winner of round 8 by way of unanimous decision from the Philly Smoke, Conja Nathan.
Well, we may run out of superlatives early on this Philadelphia team as they bring out the broom in the launch rounds against the San Antonio Snipers. All Phillies so far. We've got more coming up on Team Boxing League, and Justin Shackle tells you all about it.
Dave, thanks so much. Plenty more to come as San Antonio tries to pull off the upset and send home the top seed Philadelphia Smoke and punch a ticket to Mega Brawl 4. Tomorrow, the other piece of the puzzle will be solved as the other semifinal takes place. Will it be Luis Ortiz and the Miami Assassins, or will Kai Brooks and the Las Vegas Hustle come into Phoenix and ruin their playoff hopes? All the answers can be found right here at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on Team Boxing League, where every round is the last round. End of the launch rounds. Philadelphia is up 8-0 over San Antonio in this semifinal showdown.
Hey,
it's not just the postseason, it's also award season. The TBL Postseason Awards can be voted on now by going to teamboxingleague.com for more voting information, and the award recipients will be revealed on September the 6th. Let's take a look at the categories and the nominees, starting with Most Improved Fighter. And when you think about improvements from one year to the next, Dave, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for a story, Justin, that really is different than last year. Adrian Taylor had dropped down from heavyweight into cruiserweight, made a big impact for his team. That also happened with Erica Sanchez. Giovanni Estella had a great story to tell, going from New York to Miami. He looked reborn when he went to Miami. So a lot of these fighters, they're here. Sanchez dropping down, made a major statement. They made an adjustment tactically and also perhaps physically in their teams.
Yeah, Sanchez and Lopez providing some stability at the lower weight classes for LA with their resurgence. And I also think about changes of scenery, like Samantha Gennethin going from Phoenix to Miami this year. She has been on a terrific run. Big reason why Miami has one of the top seats. All right, Most Valuable Player. You talk about some heavy hitters with a wide variety of success. D'Angelo Leachman for Nashville bursted onto the scene, and Stacia Suttles, like we talk about changes of scenery, but the same old consistency for this 140-pounder.
Yes, and Philadelphia was delighted that she joined Jesse Hart and made them quite a strong team. Jesse Hart strong all year long. He's also a vocal leader on this team. And Ariel Davis, the human cash register for points. She has meant everything to Atlanta, got them into the playoffs.
How about some new faces bursting on the scene? We talk about Yosdiel Napolis for Miami. He has been a game changer for the Assassins, as has Yordan Barrera. One of the big questions for Phoenix was how they were going to replace a fighter like Rahman Muhammad. Well, Barrera has filled the void, and steadiness personified for Rashidi Ellis and the Boston Butchers.
He's probably the face of that team, and he is certainly the heart and soul of it.
All right, Rookie of the Year as well. Their first year in Team Boxing League, also with less than 4 pro fights. Zay Farr has helped Houston really escape from the basement, but Azariah Cottrell, strong amateur pedigree, making a name for herself.
Had 2 victories over Shaquille Ellis, first lifetime defeats for her. Cottrell, maybe a long-time possible MVP candidate in this league, and we'll see how it all shakes out. We'll see her in the playoffs.
Walden and Bartiel, 2 big reasons why their respective teams have put themselves in the postseason conversation. And how about Lysandra Contreras just making the smoke even stronger this year?
Yeah, really great Philadelphia women, and she has made a big impact up at the top, and all of a sudden making that Philly team look even more formidable.
A couple of other categories. Most Entertaining Fighter, Ryan Pino, Rashidi Ellis, Giovanni Estella. You also have Tiara Brandt from the Phoenix Fury. King Kong Ortiz, a mid-season addition to the Miami Assassins, making an impact as well. And also Most Resilient Fighter, ages 37 and older. Steve Cunningham Sr., who we'll see with Philadelphia later tonight. Also King Kong Ortiz here, and Melissa St. Ville, 42 years young, Dave.
That's right. They have done a great job, and King Kong Ortiz made big thunderous sounds when he came in and helped revolutionize that Miami team.
And then we get to the IME. Look, it doesn't fit into the EGOT, but iconic moment of the year. We go down this list. There were plenty of them. Round 16 and 22 between LA and Las Vegas. Also in early May, a terrific matchup between Houston and Dallas that was unforgettable. And all the way into June, we talked about the launch for Luis Ortiz, making his presence known in that KO exchange with Millard. And then Coach of the Year, Bob Kane, who, of course, is heading the Philadelphia Smoke all the way down to A.C. Bryant III, getting San Antonio back in the playoff mix.
All of them have done a great job. Bob Kane, the loquacious one, we joke about him. Herman Caicedo, a phenomenal job with Miami to get them surging.
Also, Fight of the Year, leading it off opening weekend, round 10 from March 22nd. Bracamontes and Rodriguez. Later on, mid-April, this bout between San Antonio and Los Angeles, as Bartiel, again a Rookie of the Year nominee, gets the best of Raul Solomon. And then this was one of the big matchups in the regular season schedule, Houston picking off Dallas.
And with this victory, got their first win of the season, and that electrified their bench.
This could be a round of the year winner, though, between Suttles and the newcomer Sage Rosario.
Yeah, Sage Rosario had a knockout the week before, called out Stacia Suttles, and they had two excellent matchups.
From newcomer to veterans, Estella and Elrod, they look sharp in this May 31st matchup between Miami and Nashville. But then June 6th, Sambiaku and Rodriguez going toe-to-toe.
Yeah, one of the great moments that we had in the league this year. Great rounds, some great iconic moments. Pick your favorite and vote on it, and we'll find out soon enough.
And you can do that by scanning the QR code right on your screen, right in the middle of the screen right now. Winners will be declared at the TBL All-Star Competition on September the 5th. So Philadelphia up 8-zip as we approach the middle rounds here, and obviously a round to watch. We concluded the launch rounds with the heavyweights. We're going to stay with the heavyweights in round 16. Trevor's Veen, Eric Ross. Veen picked up a pair of wins at the quarterfinals, but it's Ross who carries an 11-0 career TBL record into this one.
And what makes it interesting on the watch standpoint is Ross is undefeated, and he has really emerged. And Veen, on the right night, can give you some offense. He's had a 5-point night one time this year. So we like the big heavyweights going at it. We'll see what the score is at that point.
8-0 the score right now. Let's get the middle round started with Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to begin the middle rounds between the San Antonio Snipers and Philly Smoke. Round 9 at featherweight. San Antonio, Chastity Roberts. Philly, Maria Antunes.
This is where San Antonio would be favored to get a point.
You know what, Dave? After going up 8-0, I would have to feel, from a team standpoint, every fighter in that corral now wants to go for the shutout.
Every fighter on Philly wants to go for the shutout and see how long they can extend the train. We've seen the LA team get 20 points in a row when they came in to face Dallas. So that is the longest on record. And that might be an extra motivation for Antunes, who faces a very tough fighter in Chastity Roberts, who has the height and reach and has a win over her twice already. So this is another of San Antonio's best hopes and an attempt to spark the team.
Chastity Roberts, 5 feet 7 inches, 33 years of age. Antunes, 34-year-old out of Erie, Pennsylvania, originally from Honduras. Qualified for the 2020 Olympics with the Honduran national team, unable to compete due to the pandemic, and then suffered an ACL tear and sidelined her for the 24 games.
She'll be trying to work and get inside that jab of Roberts, who can keep her at bay with the jab, can also land a shot like that from a distance.
And now she's flustering Antunes. You want to watch out for the rabbit punches. Antunes contending to the referee, Ryan Bregeman. We approach the midway point. Roberts putting together some clean combos, though.
Yeah, and maybe on the verge of thinking there could be something more for her, because she's starting to dominate here on the outside. If you can get one more level of dominance for a while, you can think about trying to launch something for power. And you know this is a fighter you have beaten already. And on the other side, Antunes learning from those fights perhaps how to get inside the jab and try to do her best work.
Well, Roberts' best work, it looks like it's come from the right hand, and she's been able to time the points where Antunes has lowered her left hand, lowered her guard a bit.
It's hard for Antunes to sneak her way in. Everything has to be telegraphed, pin back the ears, take the risk, and try to pay the cover charge to get inside. It is a difficult way to fight, and you can walk into stuff like this.
.25 seconds to go. Roberts representing the best chance of the night for San Antonio thus far to get a point on the board. Trailing 8-0 after a dominant launch round phase from the Philadelphia Smoke. Philly trying to return to the Mega Brawl for a second straight year. Not a knockdown. But this round, it was dictated by Chastity Roberts. And San Antonio may have its first points of the night.
I think she got them on the board. Good work from Roberts on the outside, and then steps back a little to find some room to land the right hands here. And just by keeping her jab out there and keeping her balance, she avoids the dangerous part of the counter punches she could have walked into. Advantage of height and reach.
TBL fans, the winner of round 9 by way of unanimous decision from San Antonio, Chastity Roberts. Our next round is brought to you by Climax Moonshine, fire number 32, known to bring the heat. Round 10 at lightweight. San Antonio, Fritzy Fortunato Sayam. Philly, Nahir Albright.
Nahir Albright back in the ring for the Philadelphia Smoke. Made his return to the Philly roster in week 15. Picked up a pair of wins on July 12th. Then topped Ryan Zempoteca by split decision. And here we are in round number 10, coming up a few rounds from now, round 13. One of the impressive rookies for San Antonio, and league-wide Obed Bartiel. And he's standing by with Gina Lucille. Gina?
I'm right.
Yes, guys, I'm here with Obed Bartiel. Now, Obed, how prepared are you to work those angles tonight as Philly brings on the pressure?
It's just a part of my game. It's always been a part of my game. I move my feet, but I'm also an aggressive person, as my record shows. I knock people out, so I'm just ready to put on a good show.
Is there a sense of urgency tonight, trying to get those points going into the middle round?
I mean, I wouldn't call it urgency. People get a little overworked. You know, I'm just here to show up for my team and do my job, so it has to get done either way.
Thank you so much. Back to you guys.
Obed Bartiel coming up in round number 13. I hope there is some urgency from this sniper squad.
Let's see how, you know, and there could be more if the team puts a couple together. So they've got one, and now you've got Saya trying to reverse the fortunes of Albright. Also an excellent singer. We've seen him do the national anthem with the gloves on. Very talented, multi-dimensional professional. They're both going for it here. They're both loading up with some good shots. And
this is a great sequence, though, for Albright. Saya's trying to steal a punch on the inside. A minute to go in the 10th round. Albright and Saya, they'll do it again in round 21. Beautiful right hand, smearing the face of Saya. Nahir Albright, and the punch output climbing as the seconds wind down.
He's moving and then punching. Great instincts, quick adjustments, and then he finds punching room.
So you're saying he can sing and he can dance?
He can sing, he can dance, he can sing the blues, which is what he will do to Saya. Yeah, he's doing it all here. And this was somebody they were so happy to have him back in the regular lineup. Most of the season they did not have him, and what an addition to come in late in the regular season.
Well, Philadelphia dropped the opening round here in the middle rounds. Albright looking like he's putting the Smoke right back on track. Beautiful right hand again, connecting for Nahir Albright. And it looks like the 135-pounder could have a point in the bag for Philadelphia.
Another fighter for Philly blossoming at the right time. There have been a few of them, and this is one. Beautiful move on the adjustment to score with the right hand. Sneaky uppercut, then the punches from outside. Look at the balance. Watch the power coming through the hips, and he stays upright, and that sets up that beautiful right hand behind the jab, and he doesn't get over anxious. He took what was given. We're going to give him a point.
TBL fans, the winner of round 10 by way of unanimous decision. From the Philly Smoke, Nahir Albright. Round 11 at super lightweight, San Antonio, Erica Farias. Philly, Stasia Suttles.
Well, Dave, this is round number 11, but these two are going to be fighting in round 23 a little bit later on tonight. And I really enjoyed this matchup on paper. Erica Farias, the former world champion, joining San Antonio here. And this is probably among the teams that are left in the TBL postseason. This is one of the most formidable opponents that Suttles is going to have to go up against.
Yeah, she's facing an opponent who had lost to Joanna Nwamaru and then turned around and beat her 4 times. So she's been hot in this league. And Suttles is embracing the persona of the beast. She's got the most points in the league differential. She's getting into the idea that she is a force, and we're seeing a lot more aggression in all of her fights. She had a stoppage against Yanez last time for San Antonio, so it's been a more resolved Suttles looking for power.
Some of that power is being exerted by Suttles, but Farias, obviously battle-tested, a veteran, holding up to some of the power from Suttles. Farias sneaks in a jab that lands flush. Philadelphia in command 9-1. So San Antonio, doesn't matter who's in front of a sniper fighter, they need to find a way at this moment.
Yeah, and this is a team that was excellent and then got better. That's tough to go against, how this Philly team has caught momentum in the last month.
Also in the last year. I mean, think about Stasia Suttles. She was riding high, picking up a win in the championship over Philadelphia. Then she joins the Smoke, and they're trying to complete an undefeated season. Oh, what a big right hand that puts the former champ down on the floor. Suttles with a knockdown in the 11th.
Every chance to get 4, it's more than likely a lot of time to work with.
Oh, that's going to do it. 4 points for Stasia Suttles, and the Philly Smoke are rolling.
Remember, embracing the beast? This is an enigmatic, animated Stasia Suttles. Remember, she was comparatively reserved last year when she was just a very good fighter. Now, she is taken to the idea that she's almost a monster in this league, and that's an excellent fighter. She just dropped with that type of power, dropped it and ended it, dropped and stopped. And that's 2 consecutive knockouts for her against San Antonio. And this is an MVP candidate fighting like an MVP candidate.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 1 minute 47 seconds of round 11. For your winner by knockout, 4 points going to the Philly Smokes, Stasia Suttles.
Stasia Suttles piecing up Erica Farias in round number 11, and a commanding 13-1 lead here for Philadelphia.
We don't see many one-punch verdicts. I mean, you get a combination of punches, produce a stoppage, maybe a pair of knockdowns, but this is an explosive one-punch verdict from Stasia Suttles, and these are the type of things that she has really been reaching
Champions
out to
don't
do.
just train hard, they train consistently. Balance of Nature's new Guiltless Snacks help support energy, recovery, and performance. Go to balanceofnature.com and use code TEAM for 35% off your first order. Round 12 at welterweight. San Antonio, Charles Gardner. Philly, Andrea Cedeno.
So with Philadelphia ahead comfortably now, 13-1, a whole lot of work for San Antonio to do, and Charles Gardner will enter the ring, taking on fellow 147-pounder Hendry Cedeno. But just going back to Stasia Suttles, she has had so many meaningful rounds for Philadelphia in 2026. The question was if she was going to have another here tonight. she was definitely going to earn it. And boy, did she ever.
You know, and this is a fighter who we saw against Ariel Davis on the ropes again, make an impact here. She lost twice to Ariel Davis. You were wondering what she would do to incorporate that type of style into her game, and she just stepped up, became more aggressive, showed more power, and she has been zipping through fighters, and that was a terrific one-punch knockout against an excellent fighter.
Good thudding action from Hendry Cedeno.
And now you're scouting Philadelphia, whoever fights the next thing. How do we get past SAX? I mean, we have all these great fighters who are not getting the same headlines, but they're all consistent. And now they've got a bomber, too.
It's such a dangerous weapon when you have a power threat in your lineup that often fights multiple rounds.
Yeah, and you know, we made the point at the top, the women are a huge consideration when the coaches look for talent, and that's why getting Suttles from New York was huge for Philly, and you could argue that New York could not recover.
Daniel staying busy, even though his team is up by 12. Good right hand out of the clinch from Hendry Cedeno. Charles Gardner, though, the veteran in his third season here for San Antonio, landing some connects in between this flurry from Cedeno.
And with everything else, you're still fighting for your team. You're fighting for pride. And even if your team is not doing well on the scoreboard, you're fighting for a berth in the All-Star game, because that's an extra gig and an extra chance to be seen.
Extra check.
Check. And high profile.
Yep. See, at the end of the day, no matter how you want to splice the sweet science, team, concept, individual, it's still prize fighting.
It's still prize fighting. You're still being evaluated when you're out there, regardless of anything else. When the team concept is great because you get teammates involved and you help fighters, and on a given night you can help your team, even if your record is not great. But in the end, this is a test of all your conditioning and all the road work you did and all the work hopefully you put in enough.
This round's been a good welterweight fight between Gardner and Cedeno. Both men respecting one another. Cedeno feeling he did a whole lot and enough to win that round.
It will be his third win over Gardner if he gets it. Gardner hoping he did enough, but they put on a good show. There's a left hook by Gardner. Loves to do a few dance moves here and there, a little shake and bake. He's shaking up points out of the tree.
TBL fans, the winner of round 12 by way of unanimous decision. From Philly, Hendry Cedeno.
Cedeno picks up another point for Philadelphia, but it was this woman right here, Stacia Suttles, picking up 4 points for the Smoke. Philly's up big here in the middle rounds. Philadelphia in command, up 14-1. Let's get to round number 13 and go back to Ray Flores.
Round 13 at super middleweight. San Antonio, Obed Bartiel. Philly, Zaire Jefferson.
Well, this is another situation as up on top where San Antonio will be the favorite coming in. Bartiel has beaten Jefferson, who's been on a losing streak. So we'll see if form plays out, and maybe that urgency will be there now for San Antonio.
Bartiel won 2 rounds in the quarterfinals over Damian Lascali of Phoenix. Part of the reason San Antonio was able to get this far to the semifinals.
They showed good killer instinct in that fight too, as when they were going at it, Phoenix had made a run at San Antonio, and at that point Phoenix had cut it to 10-8, so it was back to a 2-point fight, and he got a key win there for his team.
Zaire Jefferson, one of the few Philly fighters who dropped their rounds to New York City in the quarterfinal matchup. Again, when these two teams met near the end of the regular season, Philadelphia doubled up San Antonio. They beat San Antonio actually by 11 at one point, so a little bit more than doubling them up as Jefferson gets rattled by that right hand from Bartiel, who comes back with a left hook.
San Antonio stayed in that one longer. Philly took control at the end of the launch rounds and then pulled away. And that was a month ago, and the team has gotten even better.
They beat them by 11, and here they're already up by 13.
And they've beaten some of the best San Antonio fighters, and this is another one.
Well, at the moment, Bartiel throwing better punches than Jefferson. We saw a right hook, right uppercut, straight right hand consecutively. Left hook to the body of Jefferson. Bartiel,
there you go,
putting on the show here for San Antonio, and it results in a knockdown.
Doesn't have much time to work with, but has a little. He has an opportunity. Jefferson is not just down, but hurt.
Can the clock save Jefferson? Doesn't look like it. Bartiel has Jefferson on the ropes. He could go, try to fight back. The referee watching closely, another right hand lands, and Jefferson takes a knee. Second knockdown of the round. Bartiel trying to get the stoppage. He may run out of time,
but at least he got 3 as opposed to 2.
2 knockdowns results in an extra point. So 3 points in the bag for Obed Bartiel.
We labeled this as San Antonio being favored, and that he showed killer instinct in the knockout he did not get against Phoenix, but he got a key win. There's the left hook that started it, and he sensed it. Then the left hook creates the knockdown. Fighter backing up, keep the pressure on. There is knockdown number 1, extra point number 1. 33 seconds to go when he came up, and the good thing is that he at least got the 1 extra point here. You give him 20 more seconds, this fight is going to end, but he did not let his opponent run the clock out.
Round 13 by unanimous decision. 3 points going to San Antonio's Obed Bartiel.
That makes it 14-4.
Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and self-discovery. At light heavyweight, San Antonio, Duran Isom. Philly, Jesse Hart.
Well, Jesse Hart has been one of the top fighters in the league. He had a 10-fight win streak snapped by Sean McCalman, and he has won every time after a night in which he's lost to a fighter. So that's his streak coming in. And Isom has beaten Osundairo and Raiko Santana, the MVP of last year.
And William Langston, the upstart William Langston from Nashville this season.
So this is like a sneaky good matchup.
But how do you think Jesse Hart is feeling right now between the quarterfinal win and what we've seen tonight? He hasn't produced any points for his team.
Yeah, there is a lot of pressure. Especially the team has looked to him. He's been a vocal leader. I've said it before, he could be a coach. He's taken the younger fighters around him. And this is his chance to break that streak, though, keep that streak going. He's never lost after a defeat.
What was great a couple of weeks ago in San Antonio's quarterfinal victory over Phoenix, it took place in Philadelphia, a neutral site. And the Smoke, several members, including Jesse Hart, they were on hand, scouting a potential opponent. And you do see it sometimes in traditional boxing. A fighter is victorious in the ring and a potential future opponent steps in the ring and they do the stare down there. We saw that Team Boxing League style. Jesse Hart, several other Philadelphia Smoke members, Bob Kane got into the ring right after San Antonio, and really while they were still celebrating the quarterfinal win.
And Jesse Hart has been a dominant fighter, and not quite the same this year, but still an exceptional fighter. So, but when you're going against him, you may feel you have a better chance than you did a couple years ago.
And he lost a very close split decision in the quarterfinals to Sean McCalman, a good fighter for the NYC Attitude.
Here's Isom trying to crowd Jesse Hart, who will use all the tricks, try to shorten the round. A veteran like him can take a 3-minute round, chop it to 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and you don't even know how he shaved off that time. He's trying to do it tying up. Yeah, Isom has been aggressive and been getting off first. That's a slip, properly called.
Referee Joe Scobie right on top of it. And they continue with about 10 seconds to go.
Good shots here by Isom at the end.
Making it a close round for the judges.
Right, so as the fighters are being aggressive, collision there and a slip. Referee right on top of it.
TBL fans, the winner of round 14 by way of a split decision from San Antonio, Darren Isom.
Well earned.
Darren Isom picks off another name in Team Boxing League, and it happens here in the postseason.
Round 15 at cruiserweight. San Antonio, Adrian Taylor. Philly, Money Powell.
Well, Isom had his hand raised. Jesse Hart visibly agitated, had himself at the decision.
Yeah, well, you know, but you could see before they announced it, there wasn't that certainty on his face we've seen other times. And so we'll check his resolve. In the meantime, San Antonio has been fighting on pride and put some points up.
Here, a couple of cruiserweights. Adrian Taylor for San Antonio. How about Money Powell in the purple trunks, Dave?
Yeah, from Atlanta. Now, he was pretty excited when he was introduced. And now a member of the heavily favored Philadelphia Smoke. So for him, this is a big opportunity to make his credentials for Bob Kane and also to enjoy a postseason against a guy who was a heavyweight and not had the same success, come down to cruiserweight, and has had a great season, but has lost 3 in a row.
Now, this is like a large a player with a large profile signing a free agent deal with a team that is obviously dominating. You want to prove your worth to the people around you at this point, and you don't want to mess up everything good that's been happening.
Right, you don't want to mess that up. It's like unofficial trade deadline pickups, you know, to make an impact. So for him, this is basically like it's his first fight of the season. New teammates. Taylor has been a force for San Antonio, but hit a speed bump in the last few fights.
They dropped 2 close rounds to Charles Pugh in the quarterfinals. They were close against Phoenix. Quality punch there. Taylor's only losses prior to some of the quarterfinal rounds were to Steve Cunningham Sr., who we're not seeing tonight. He did compete in the quarterfinals for Philadelphia, but we see Junior.
San Antonio, that's a slip. Could really get a sense of sticking its chest out a little bit if it could get another one. I mean, down 9 now, but at 14-1, if you make that 14-6, you know, you're at least making a statement. And on the other end, Money Powell wants to shut that momentum right here.
Powell sticking and moving. Landed the right hand downstairs. Taylor partially landing that counter left near the bell. And that concludes the round. They're scheduled for the 22nd coming up in the money rounds. And we'll see if Taylor has made it 3 straight round victories for San Antonio.
Or whether Powell has joined the Philly group of picking up great fighters. They added Contreras and they added Suttles at the beginning of the year. And they picked him up for the playoffs, hoping for some money. We're about to find out if they got some.
TBL fans, the winner of round 15 by way of unanimous decision from the Philly Smoke, Money Powell. Round 16 at heavyweight, San Antonio, Chavores Fiend, Philly, Eric Ross.
Round 16, a round to watch here in the middle rounds as Philadelphia has increased their lead back up to double digits. Now a 10-point advantage, up 15-5. Chavores Fiend in the orange trunks, and Eric Ross undefeated in his TBO career, a perfect 11-0.
Now we've seen Veen with that long looping overhand left do some damage to fighters. He had the goods on Kai Brooks earlier in the year against a bigger fighter. So he tried to do that. And Ross has just been the boss with that unbeaten record.
See the height difference between these two. Ross at 6'7". Bean standing at 6'1".
The quickness of Ross to make Veen pay for any attempt to get home. You see the job that Veen has to try to do just to get into punching position, how it can throw you off. You have to get inside the jab, then you have to be in a good position inside once you get there and then land. He's right at the end of the jab here of Ross. He might be lining up something bigger than that.
Ross trying to keep his record in TBL perfect.
The veteran move of tying up after he's rejected. Veen will have to gamble. There's just no easy way in for him here. Cannot tactically get in with all the traditional moves. He'll have to pay a price and take his chance.
Got a left hand in there a moment ago.
He did, and he's closing ground and trying to land something here. And when you're too far away, that's an explosive shot off the mitts of your opponent.
Eric Ross, as a heavyweight, such a tough code to crack.
Not only because he's tall, but because he utilizes it so well. He makes you pay for coming
Dare I say he's kind of lanky for a heavyweight?
Yeah, you might say that.
You could say, what are we talking about? The physique is there, but look at the reach. Has long legs. He knows what he has, and he uses it to his advantage.
Yeah, you have to make. We illustrated 3 moves you have to make to land a punch against him. And you make a mistake on any part of that, you can walk right into an uppercut or a hard right hand.
Round comes to a close, so do the middle rounds. And it was a better showing for San Antonio, but the middle 8 rounds highlighted by the stoppage from Stacia Suttles. And we'll await the judges' ruling for this 16th round between Veen and Ross.
TBL fans, the winner of round 16 by way of unanimous decision from the Philly Smoke, Eric Ross.
Ross stays perfect, improving to 12-0 in his TBL career. And Philadelphia is up 16-5. Stacia Suttles, 4 massive points for Philadelphia, who is 8 rounds away from returning to the Mega Brawl. here in Phoenix, Arizona, the neutral site, but Philadelphia laying it on San Antonio. A better showing for the Snipers in the middle rounds. Nevertheless, it is 16-5 San Antonio as we welcome you back inside our TBL studios. Justin and Dave with you. And look, Philadelphia has 8 rounds between them and the Mega Brawl 4, a returning trip. They just need to take care of business, and it seems like the ticket to the championship round could be theirs, but we did see some bright spots from San Antonio in the middle rounds.
Yeah, we certainly did with Chastity Roberts and then with the big knockdown by Bartiel. Philadelphia coming out with the pedigree that we expected, consistency, composure all the way through. And then in the middle rounds, the Stacia bomb, which offset many of the good things that San Antonio had done. And that's how we got here.
Yeah, that was a big difference maker, obviously, when you take a look at the box score. Let's take a look at some of the rounds that make up the highlights, going back to the launch rounds in which Philadelphia cleaned it up. They put together an 8-0 launch round phase, and it all started with Lissandra Contreras and the adjustments that she made in outboxing Julie Rodriguez. This was a special one as Contreras gets her hand raised in the launch round phase. And then in round number 4, this was a good scrap between 200 135-pounders, Dave Francisco Rodriguez and Sebastian Vasquez.
And we talked about the momentum that Cisco Rodriguez had been getting slowly under the radar for Philadelphia, and he's able to deliver points and give them their 4th straight win at that shot.
Again, 8-0 Philly at the end of the first 8 rounds. Fast forward to round 11, Suttles in the ring against the former world champ Erica Farias. This was a good test for Suttles, and it was a one-hit quit.
Yeah, you know what? We saw all last year putting pressure on fighters, and we thought about what can she do with a new team. They picked her up for power, and they're getting it. Last 2 fights against San Antonio, 2 knockouts. That is a 1-punch 4-pointer, and one of the best punches of the year in the female division.
A punch of the postseason, without a doubt, so far. Round number 13, Obed Bartiel, Zaire Jefferson, and you just saw Bartiel wear down his opponent to the point where he needed to take a knee, not once, but twice.
Yeah, he almost got the full 4, but he kept it on. We talked about him being an aggressive fighter. In his previous fights, he ran out of time to get any extra points. Here, he at least got 2 extra points to give San Antonio its highlight moment with 3 points right there. And that brought some happiness to the corral in San Antonio and Coach A.C. Bryant.
So time, I guess, running out on Bartiel right there, not able to get the full 4 points. And I tell you what, in the moment, I thought, I wonder if we're going to need a sub round for this matchup because they were pitted against one another coming up here in the money rounds. Turns out we don't. So I'm wondering what type of punishment performance we see from Bartiel or what type of adjustments and a comeback we could see from Jefferson. I think that makes it up our round to watch here in the money rounds, round number 20.
We really have to see because Bartiel has been a work in progress, unbeaten, and you see the San Antonio optimism growing around him. What can they build on? Hey, you're looking at an all-star. You're looking at someone you're going to see in the fight after the Mega Brawl if San Antonio does not advance. He's looking at one of the top prospects. That has been a thing for A.C. Bryant all year, is blossoming this talent and trying to make them get a base for this year and then maybe explode for next year. So, you know what? They'll be fighting for pride a lot all the way throughout the rest of this.
Well, look, it's 16-5 Philly right now, an 11-point lead. What do you want to see from the Philadelphia Smoke over these final 8 rounds?
Keep that foot on the pedal. That's what we have seen from them in all of their fights this season. We talk about what goes on in the corral. We talk about the inter-team competition. Hey, I coach you, you coach that person. You're all looking at what Stacia Suttles just did. This has been a team wave. What's been most impressive about them to me is that we thought they were real good about a month ago. And now look. So they've caught on that.
Yeah, the TBL Frankenstein at this point.
Yes, it's like, oh, my goodness. What happened to this team? All the new talent they get, and they pick up Money Powell, they get a win. Every move they make has been money for this team.
Well, let's see what they have in store for the final 8 rounds here tonight. 8 rounds, all that separates Philadelphia and another trip to the Mega Brawl 4. Let's get him going with Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to begin the money rounds between the San Antonio Snipers and Philly Smoke. Round 17 at welterweight. San Antonio, Andres Barrera. Philly, Isaiah Johnson.
Two welterweights starting it off in round number 17. Andres Barrera, Isaiah Johnson. It was Johnson picking up a unanimous decision victory in round number 5. Part of a launch round shutout for Philadelphia, and he just peppered Andres Barrera rather, with sharp right hands.
And the problem when you go against Johnson is that, okay, if you pin back your ears, you get inside the jab, you find some range in there, you take away one way that he can beat you, but he's got so many as you take a look at. He is on top, the welterweight kings. And that's some good company with Castro in there as well. So he's been another under-the-radar Philly guy, so polished.
Now 32-7 in his TBL career.
32-7, and doesn't even have the most wins on his teeth.
And that would be enough for multiple teams in this league.
We've got a 30-win fighter.
Yeah.
Let's have a parade for this person. We haven't seen them extended in a fight since Boston, way back, held Philly tied through the launch rounds and the middle rounds. Philly pulled away and won the money rounds, and they have never looked back in ever being in trouble after that.
Yeah, they have mostly been able to fight free in the majority of their money rounds this season.
If you take the average 24 fights, 8 plus the postseason, you're over 200 rounds that you're fighting. And I'll bet Philly has been behind in less than 5 of them at any point. You have to look back and go and see. Maybe since the New York one opened, I think.
That in control, it allows you to just stay loose. Keep on with your approach, keep on with the assignment, with what your coaches are advising you to do. You don't stray away from your game plan because there's not a whole lot of extra noise surrounding your situation.
Yeah, nobody takes you out of your zone. Nobody upsets you. Nobody takes you off your game. And then each fighter, I'm going to get my point. I get more fine, but I'm at least going to get my point. Somebody else will get that next one.
Now this 17th round, it was a better showing from the launch round for Barrera, but Isaiah Johnson still doing a really good job staying in command.
What makes him tough? He doesn't take any unnecessary chances. Keeps the jab going, everything off behind there. If I don't get what I want, I'll throw another jab a little bit later on. But he won't lunge and open himself up for a counter.
Round 17 by way of unanimous decision. From Philly, Isaiah Johnson. Our next round is brought to you by Climax Moonshine Fire number 32, known to bring the heat. Round 18 at super welterweight, San Antonio Jarvis Shepard, Philly Jason Moreno.
Jarvis Shepard, Jason Moreno locking horns yet again. And Moreno came away with a split decision win back in round number 6. Philly in control right now, 17-5. As we go ringside now, Gina Lucille is ringside with Jesse Hart.
Now, Dave, you did talk about earlier how you wanted to see Philly put the pressure on, put the pedal to the metal. I'm here with Jesse Hart. Jesse, you know, it looked like you were getting crowded in the middle rounds. So what kind of adjustments are you going to make for these money rounds?
I'm going to make the necessary adjustments. I mean, he was a southpaw, so, you know, I figured I had to box more. But this time, I know I got to stop smothering my punches so more and more so box, use my jab a lot more than what I did.
How important is it when you're going into the middle rounds and then you get to fight in the money rounds and you can make those adjustments quickly?
It's very important because I want to come through for my team. I'm a point getter. You look at the rounds that I won compared to the rounds that I lost, I'm a point getter. So I always want to come through for my team. It's not just me. I know I have a team ride with me, and I know they all look up to me to win. So I got to make the necessary adjustments.
Thank you, Jesse. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Gina. And he openly talked about the mistakes he was making in the ring, but also you can see it. He's wearing it right now in terms of, hey, I'm not getting points. I'm not invited to the party, Dave. I'm not in there. The door's locked.
I'm not invited to the party. I sent invitations out for. I told everybody to come. And
I called the event space.
Yes.
I did all the work.
I did all the work. And he mentioned something we've talked about, how the team looks up to him, and now he's wearing that too. Not only has he not participated in the party tonight, but these are all the fighters that he's coached. And yeah, so we're going to see a lot of resolve for him, and that's a personal battle that impacts the money round.
He did the head count. I mean, he stayed consistent. Asking the RSVPs, turns out he didn't get an invitation.
Probably told everybody where the fights were. Here's your flight. Yeah.
Well, he has a chance. He has a chance to cap what has been an incredible performance in the semifinals for Philadelphia, because Jesse Hart is coming back up in the 24th round. Let's see if he makes those adjustments. Mentioned stop smothering his opponents against the southpaw Darren Isom.
In the meantime, that's against the backdrop of the glee of this Philadelphia team, which has been on another planet tonight.
Seconds winding down between Moreno and Shepard. Good cover up from Shepard, though Moreno still launching with some conviction and chippiness between the two throughout the final minute or so.
So the action from that last round with Moreno coming in and a good straight right hand, and then he is tied up. But he's the aggressor here. Good body work, then stepping back, not smothering himself. Good uppercut. And that's just great aggression and instinct.
TBL fans, the winner of round 18 by way of unanimous decision. From Philly, Jason Moreno. Round 19 at featherweight, San Antonio, James Pierce. Philly, Rasheed Brown.
Rasheed Brown with a chance to sweep 2 rounds tonight against James Pierce. Took unanimous decision in the second round over Pierce.
What's impressive about this dominance for Philadelphia is this is the 4th place team that reaches the semifinals. As you take a look at Rasheed Brown and his career victories. You know, New York and Philly and Miami have been at the top, and then there's been a scramble after that, and this is what they're doing to a team that already has a playoff win. This is not a wild card team. This team won a playoff match, and this is what Philly's been able to do.
That's a good point. San Antonio missed the postseason entirely last year. They retooled, brought in a lot of that raw boxing talent that we talked about at the top of the broadcast. Obviously made the improvements, gained a postseason berth, finished in the upper half of the league, and won a playoff game.
5 wins, really could have become 6 right there with Las Vegas. So they have been a high-rising team, and Philly probably elevated its persona maybe about 25% from when we saw them at the end of the regular season or when they faced San Antonio.
Pierce being urged to keep his hands up from the sniper's corner. Coach A.C. Bryant III.
few times we saw Rasheem Brown take a chance on something.
And punch from a poor position. You can hear AC in the background. He's keeping his sniper squad engaged, keeping them enthusiastic, trying to cheer on whatever teammate is in the ring on any given round.
Well, you know, you're building principles for next year. You're building character. You're building team pride. And all of that will be emphasized by him afterward to his team. Now, you're already building for your off season and what you try to do to try to improve next year. And in this one, you know, Rasheem Brown did not dominate in that shake and bake shoe shine type of way we've seen him in the past. But he's still Rasheem Brown.
Round concludes, and we'll see if Brown emerges victorious yet again.
Here's Brown on the outside, landing a right hand. Pierce is trying to get near him, but there's the jab, and then another one to keep him away. Just could not get near Brown.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of round 19 by way of unanimous decision from Philly, Rasheem Brown.
Rasheem Brown with the sweep of his 2 rounds tonight, and Philly up 19-5.
There's a Philly corral, very composed. Who do you think we're facing next? Going to be Vegas, or is it going to be Miami?
The great thing is, everything taking place at a neutral site. Philadelphia will be able to sit back and watch both teams go at it tomorrow.
Yeah, they get that scouting report for being first on the weekend.
Miami and Vegas at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific.
Our next round, if you're watching these athletes give everything in the ring, ask yourself, how can you supplement like them? Balance of Nature is offering 35% off tonight only with code TEAM at balanceofnature.com.
So up 19-5, Philadelphia already achieved their point total from the regular season meeting.
Has been deemed unable to compete in round number 20. Therefore, it is a medical forfeit. The previous round, number 13, has been changed from 3-0 to 4-0 in favor of Obed Bartiel. We will have action in round number 20 as a swing route is currently being selected to replace the previous round. So Zaire Jefferson unable to compete, therefore a medical forfeit. Round 13 goes from 3-0 to 4-0 in favor of Obed Bartiel. And currently, as we get set, we are looking at Tracy Magruder and Steve Cunningham Jr., which will be inside the ring momentarily, as we will have Tracy Magruder and Steve Cunningham Jr. at middleweight getting set to collide in mere moments.
So Dave, something that maybe was in the back of both our minds here, we saw the beating that Bartiel put on Jefferson. We saw Jefferson visibly hurt. Turns out he couldn't compete in this second scheduled round.
So the 1 point gets added as if it was an actual knockout, but perhaps the disappointment for AC Bryant is he thought he would see that fight again, and maybe a chance to get 3 or 4 more points. So you get 1 on the front end to make it 6 for you, but you were hoping you might get 4, and now you're realizing you won't get that chance.
You know, in the moment, when Bartiel comes away with 3 points, doesn't get the stoppage, which means it offsets any potential second round later in the night. You get 3 points.
Ladies
You're saying to yourself, let's go back to Ray here.
20 will feature at middleweight from San Antonio, Tracy Magruder. From Philly, Steve Cunningham Jr.
So we're going to have Magruder and Cunningham, 2 middleweights, go at it here in round 20. But back to our point, you're saying to yourself, hey, this is a chance to maximize a potential, what, 7
points for Bartiel.
if you come back and stop him in the
that's
second
right.
scheduled round.
And they only told you apparently just now is when he found out, so it wasn't something that he planned on.
So now the team scored Philadelphia 19, San Antonio 6, and Magruder and Cunningham Jr. going at it for a second round tonight. Good stick from Cunningham Jr. on the counter.
I believe there was a new rule added to the playoff season. At times we've seen in the past, okay, you get the next win too if your team can't go at it. So this guarantees that there are a full ledger of fights.
And there will be 24 full round, that's for sure. But now a 19-6 lead for Philadelphia.
Magruder was one of San Antonio's better hopes in the launch rounds and almost came away with a victory. It was maybe the closest that his team came to putting a point up. And we thought this type of work here was effective for him, where he stalked and then went to work.
Magruder winding up, launching left and rights. Cunningham shelling up, now popping up and trying to respond.
It's really going to boil down for the judges about how clean these counter shots are for Cunningham versus the aggression of Magruder, who gets off first, which has not been the case for most of the San Antonio fighters. It's been Philly getting off first. Here is Magruder getting off first, and he still didn't get the call in the launch round.
Good connection of combinations from Cunningham Jr. Had a right hook and then a left straight into the grill of Magruder. Final 20 seconds in round number 20.
Good right hand by Magruder. I think for as close as the first one was, might be good to get some justice that he gets a split out of this. He's been the outright aggressor both times.
Round concludes.
Take a look at some of the highlights. Here's Magruder in tight, good snapping right hand, good right hand again, clubbing right hand there. Cunningham comes back and has his moments too, and then Magruder tried to get more. So who had more of these moments is what the judges are going to decide.
TBO fans, the winner of round 20 by way of split decision. From San Antonio, Tracy Magruder.
There you go.
Magruder evens up his night against Steve Cunningham Jr. And it's now a 19-7 Philadelphia lead. We'll be back with the final 4 rounds in Phoenix right after this. It's Philadelphia 19, San Antonio 7 as we move forward with round number 21. Let's go to Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, Frenzy Fortunata Sion has been deemed unable to continue and compete in this round. Therefore, it is a medical forfeit. The previous round, number 10, goes from 1-0 to a 3-0 victory in favor of Nahir Albright. Also, Azariah Cottrell has also been deemed unable to continue as she was scheduled for round 21. Therefore, it is a medical forfeit. Their previous round has been changed from 1-0 to a 3-0 victory in favor of the Philly Smokes, Shaquilla Ellis. Now competing in round 21 at welterweight for San Antonio, Charles Garner, Billy Hendry Cedeno.
Here's Gardner and Cedeno.
Well, that's a puzzler on Cottrell. You have to hope that maybe there was no injury that she suffered that became apparent afterward. Kind of looking forward to seeing her again after she was into the swing rounds.
So it affects the overall score, 23-7 as it stands right now. Philadelphia in front, Cedeno and Gardner. Saw Hendry Cedeno pick up a unanimous decision over Gardner back in the middle rounds.
And he's had good success with Garner in his career now with 3 wins over him.
Joel Scopey telling Cedeno to go to the corner.
And Garner is trying to create punching room by holding. May have been one of the things discussed between him and the referee.
Garner gets stabbed with the jab to the face from Cedeno. Both putting on a lot of gamesmanship.
The dueling theatrics.
Yeah.
Cedeno only did it because Garner did it. He did the same type of motion with the hands out to the side. Coaches would like to see them landing punches instead.
Cedeno answering the call there. Less choreography, more fighting.
Close enough to get some offense in here with Garner.
Might have had a minor head clash a second ago.
With the styles, it's almost inevitable with these guys both seeking position.
It's going to be this type of pace, this high octane, all the way to the final bell between these two.
This fight has been waged on raw emotion.
We got everything in those final 20 seconds. Wow.
You want it so bad? We don't need the techniques.
We had jabs, backhands. Check this out.
There's Cedeno missing
Look
the
at that.
backhands over there. That was undetected. Then the holding. You know it's the final seconds. And then let's leap into this a little bit. Yeah, you have to love the spirit.
TBL fans, the winner of round 21 by way of unanimous decision from the Philly Smoke, Andre Cedeno. Our next round is brought to you by Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and self-discovery. Round 22 at cruiserweight. San Antonio, Adrian Taylor. Philly, Money Powell.
Money Powell back for round number 2 in the Philadelphia Smoke Trunks. Came away victorious over Adrian Taylor in round number 15 as Philadelphia is up 24-7.
That was right when San Antonio made its flickering run. A couple of wins and coming off the Bartiel three-pointer, and this was the fight that came after it. And Powell able to put the kibosh on that and keep Philly in that dominant position. That's as close as San Antonio has gotten.
Powell spending the majority of the season in Atlanta with the attack linking up here with Philadelphia. Taylor, meanwhile, has been a mainstay for San Antonio, the 35-year-old cruiserweight out of Dallas.
Been in some close fights, but can't get over the top right now at this particular juncture. You go through it. He had such a remarkable beginning to his cruiserweight career this year and helped San Antonio in some key spots. But one of them was to pull out a draw in the final match against Houston to keep San Antonio from sliding back. And that draw did help their playoff placement all year. It was basically considered half a win, and so that was a tiebreaker for them.
Well, this is the 22nd round. 3 more rounds to go. Do the math, max 4 points each round, and still San Antonio would only have 23 points. So this one has been clinched here. Philadelphia is going to head over to the Mega Brawl 4. It'll be interesting to see what they do with this weight class. Will Money Powell continue with Philly? Will Steve Cunningham Sr. be competing again in Mega Brawl 4 at cruiserweight?
But they split it. And there was a lot of those options, and that's why, you know, there's always the story within the story. And for Money Powell, that is a big personal one for him to do well and hopefully get out of here with 2 points, because they made a move to get him. They brought him in.
Good right connect at close range for Adrian Taylor. Maybe the best punch of the round. But like we mentioned, it's going to be too little too late for San Antonio. Mathematically, Philadelphia has put this one to bed. Currently up 24-7 as we await the judge's decision for round 22.
TBL fans, the winner of round 22 by way of unanimous decision from the Philly Smoke, Money Powell.
So big win for Money Powell, who now has 3 wins in 2 playoff weeks for 2 different teams.
Our penultimate money round will be in the heavyweight division. San Antonio, Nagy Aguilera. Philly, Concha Nathan.
So this was originally scheduled as the second round of the night for Suttles and Farias. We obviously saw Suttles stop Farias. So it's round number 2 between Aguilera and Conjun Nathan. And how about this, Dave? Already with 25 points, we're not through the night, but with the 25, it is already the highest point total of the season for Philadelphia. It comes in the semifinals of the TBL playoffs.
Yes, and at the same time, here's a chance that they could hold another team under 10, which has been one of their specialties as well.
Yeah, what's more impressive?
Yeah, what do you like? The one speaks to the offensive outburst they've had here tonight in the power department, and the other speaks to their ability to multiply rounds, round after round. So on 2 elements, they're getting there. If you're going against them, you're saying, wait a minute now, this is some big high output in both the last San Antonio victory, the win over New York, which was convincing for them, and then this one. Now, a lot of times when you see teams fight and then go at it about a month later with the same personnel, you expect it might tighten a little because of the familiarity that the losing team has with what the winning team did, and then they can adjust a little bit. But that theory, Philly blew it out of the water.
Yeah. San Antonio had its moments in that first meeting, most notably Cottrell picking Ellis off twice. What do we see? Shaquille Ellis coming back, taking care of business against the 18-year-old.
So Philly has it all tonight. They've got that big sweeping team win, and they've got some important personal stories. For Ellis to turn the tables, for Money Powell to come up with his new team, and weigh in, and then make it, try to convince Bob Kane to put him in the mega brawl.
Left hook from Nathan, and landed. Flush on Aguilera. With about a minute to go in the 23rd, Aguilera trying to time one punch against the Philadelphia heavyweight.
And whoever you are on the San Antonio team, unless you make the All-Star team, this is your last appearance this year. So you want to go out well and try to have something to remember for months and months in the offseason.
We could possibly see 1 or 2 members of the Snipers in that All-Star festivity taking place September the 6th.
I would see Cottrell.
Potentially Junior Rodriguez, Bartiel as well. But now Philadelphia 3 minutes away from officially wrapping it up, as they will head to Mega Brawl 4 for a second straight year. You see some of the action from this penultimate round.
This time, good move by Aguilera, and the ropes held up. This was the fight in which the ropes sagged, and we had our delay back in the launch rounds.
TBO fans, the winner of round 23 by way of split decision. From the Philly Smoke, Conjun Nathan. Our final money round will be at light heavyweight. San Antonio, Darren Isom. Philly, Jesse Hart.
And here's another of the personal stories for Philly. As Hart wants to get off the schneid tonight. Said he'll have to not smother himself in this round. So let's see if that's how it plays out.
With the Smoke up 26-7, arguably their most important fighter over the last 2-3 years, Jesse Hart, has yet to provide a point for his team.
Yes, and you know that's weighing on him.
So we'll see if he can come through here and put a nice bow on this semifinal performance for the Philly Smoke. Trips right there.
He talked about smothering himself. Well, that will also happen when you're using the veteran moves to shorten the round. So you're not getting the full 3-minute rounds to fight with. And there's an example of what's happening here. That one was not initiated by him.
Philadelphia ran out to an 8-0 lead in the money rounds. Stacey Settles providing the big one-punch knockout over the former world champion Erica Farias. And after some rescoring, redistributing with injuries, Philadelphia coming away on top in the middle rounds as well, just not by as wide of a margin. And here in the money rounds, taking care of business as well. They've established a new season high in points, and they have a chance here to keep San Antonio to single digits.
Yeah, and that's been a major specialty. And right now, both fighters being warned about the excessive holding that we are seeing. That's a big shot by Hart.
Got the right hand in.
He didn't smother himself. He get himself some distance. He scored the first big knockout of the season under the new scoring format against New York in the money rounds. Turned that fight around. Philly was trailing. He scored a 4-pointer, and then the Philly train took off after that and got the victory. He's looking to get some of that thunder back here. And his lead right hands are helping.
Under a minute to go in the 24th and final round of our semifinal matchup.
You get the sense that Jesse Hart may realize that this is his round to lose now, as he's done some good things and is probably ahead.
This is a very physical round here between these two. Look at this, Jesse Hart's being deducted a point.
Yeah, when things are not going your way, these things multiply. We only had about 40 seconds to kill when that was determined.
Tension intensifying. A lot of smothering throughout these 3 minutes. That's it. More tensions flaring between Jesse Hart and Darren Isom at the end of round 24 than at the end of round 14.
Yeah, there was more holding in this one, and it got called.
So Philadelphia going to be on its way to Mega Brawl 4, and good sportsmanship from this sniper squad. You see AC Bryant coming to congratulate the Philly bench along with a lot of sniper fighters. Always like to see that. And we will get the final ruling here in a matter of moments and wrap this up officially.
Yeah, AC Bryant is a good force in this league. He's very league savvy, along with what he's done for a San Antonio team. Trying to put the hex on the other team, and let's have some fun here. And maybe they think they got it if that penalty is there.
The winner of round 24 by way of majority decision. From San Antonio, Darren Isom.
Isom wins via majority decision, and obviously you still see the pride flowing despite the team score. Philadelphia has made it official. The Smoke will be back in the Mega Brawl 4 and a chance to compete for the title. We'll be back with more after this. Boxing League is brought to you by Balance of Nature. In boxing, consistency beats intensity. Balance of Nature supplements help you stay consistent with ingredients of whole foods you can easily slot into your daily routine. Go to balanceofnature.com, use code TEAM, and start today. Philly's off to the championship round. It's time for our Star of the Fight, brought to you by Balance of Nature. Stacia Suttles doing it again, Dave.
The Beast. She drops the big right hand there on Farias, the four-pointer for Philadelphia. She has really turned on to the idea of being a closer and a four-point person for Philadelphia. We have seen her demonstrativeness, reaching out more, and being a team dominant performer very much this year.
All right, Fight Night honors on the way. Let's go back into the ring with Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Weekapaw Casino Resort here in Fort McDowell, Arizona, your final score, the Philly Smoke 26, the San Antonio Snipers 8. The Philly Smoke advance to Mega Brawl 4. Here are your 3 stars of the fight. Number 3 star, San Antonio Super Middleweight, Obed Bartiel. Number 2 star, Philly welterweight, Isaiah Johnson. Balance of Nature, number 1 star, Philadelphia Smoke super lightweight, Stacia Suttles. Round of the night, number 7, between Tracy Magruder and Steve Cunningham Jr.
Bob,
Yo.
you said you were going to see me in the center of this ring tonight. Your percentage has gone up. Tell me how you're feeling tonight.
What's the percentage?
I don't do math. I'm in the middle of this ring.
All right, we'll figure it out later, but it's not about me, it's about them. So we're going to do the same thing. Whoever the matchup is tomorrow night, we're going to be the Mega Brawl champs again.
Hey, these fighters come out here and they'll fight tigers for you. How do you get that motivation in your camp?
That's why they're on the team.
Love it. Isaiah, setting the tone tonight. Tell me, what kind of power do you have with your team coming into Mega Brawl?
Our chemistry is crazy. You know, we uplift each other every time in and out. And, you know, we just rely and we trust each other. So, you know, that's the biggest goal, is to trust each other.
Congratulations on tonight. And Stacia, this dazzling knockout. I mean, your smile, I could see it from the hallway. I was ringside, but I could see it from the hallway. Tell me, how did that uplift the whole team tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good to just do what I need to do for the team to make it to the next round and God willing, win the championship next week.
Absolutely phenomenal. We can't wait to see you at Mega Brawl. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Gina. Standing by with Stacia Suttles right there. She picks up Fighter of the Night, honors the star of the fight, and Philadelphia winning it 26-8 to punch their ticket to Mega Brawl 4. Join us again tomorrow, the second semifinal matchup. The winner will take on Philadelphia. It'll be Las Vegas and Miami coming up 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific tomorrow night. We'll talk to you then as Philadelphia soundly beats San Antonio, establishes a new season high in points. They hold an opponent in the semifinals to single digits, and they whip San Antonio 26-8. The Smoker going to be fighting for the championship next weekend. And again, we will see you tomorrow for the final semifinal matchup here with Team Boxing League. We'll talk to you then.